We've gotten rather used to talking about the D.C. budget in doom and gloom mode, dwelling on shortfalls in the hundreds of millions of dollars and the cutbacks city will need to fix them. But this week, the script flipped a little bit, and we've been talking about the city spending money, whether it's on fully loaded Lincoln Navigators or on salaries for city employees. A month and a half into the Gray administration, what concerns do you have as the chairman of the Committee on Finance and Revenue about the city's ability to live up to its commitment to fiscal responsibility?
Well, let me just say this. This week has been a very, very bad week for the District of Columbia image-wise. We just were up on Wall Street. There were testimony before Capitol Hill. And then this week, I think, in my 20 years on the council at least, I haven't seen anything like this, almost going back to the Vista Hotel, where we have been in the news, in the Wall Street Journal, all in an unfavorable light. And hopefully we won't have another week like this. So these issues have to be solved immediately and put behind us, because in response to your question, the District of Columbia, whose finances actually are in quite good shape, but like every other jurisdiction, I was just listening to Peter Francho, who is a great friend of mine, and he accurately identified the problem. We have revenues, and in the district, it's interesting, not that are declining, but that just are flat, and expenditures that continue to grow, producing a gap. For the last 4 years, we filled that gap by spending our savings down to the point now where we can't use that anymore. So this year, we have a $400 million gap that must be filled by one of two ways: either raise taxes or cut expenditures.
Councilmember, I've heard that the revenue estimates coming in are actually somewhat better than initially thought. Is that the case? Is the budget deficit as big as everyone is talking about right now?
The budget deficit is as big. We have not gotten revenue estimates, and we won't get them until February. So anyone who's telling you that they're better or worse has no idea what they're talking about.
I'm sorry, February? When's the next revenue? At the end of February?
The end of February.
Okay.
And at the end of February, we will. And this is what I took away from our meeting on Wall Street and meetings just in general. Nat Gandhi will give us a revenue number at the end of February. Whatever that number is, that's what we have to spend, period. We should not try to increase that number by raising taxes and have more money to spend, because, frankly, when we visited Wall Street, I mean, we could do it, but everyone will look very skeptical on our ability to make hard decisions if we do that.
How are you going to make hard decisions when someone will point to Kwame Brown? Many people have said, even those who like him, that his credibility to lead the fight on the budget matter for the council is really undermined by this SUV stuff and his own credit problems. But just the SUV is enough. But now with Mayor Gray, with this Suleiman Brown person, all the things you just referenced, how can you look at the people you're cutting, the programs around the city, and without them looking right back at you and saying, well, Mayor Gray hired this guy for $110,000. It seems to me it undermines the ability of the mayor and the council to get the real work done.
And there is no doubt, Tom, that it absolutely does. This episode, this last week, has in many ways tarnished the image of the city that Mayor Williams, Linda Kropp, myself, and others have tried to change over the last 10 years. Having said that, what I would recommend to the everyone involved in this on the Kwame Brown issue, those SUVs need to be returned. Whatever money gotten from them needs to be gotten, and the difference he needs to make up and move on. That's what has to happen. Anything short of that will keep this issue alive for us during the budget. On Vince Gray's issue, I have known Vince for 20 years. He is an outstanding guy. I really mean that. I've known him for 20 years. I sat next to him for 4 years. He's had some missteps this week. I hope it's just a bad week. And going forward, that now that he understands the problems he's facing, that he can correct these and we can move forward quickly.
His own private advisors are telling me that he's got to get better staff support so he can head these things off, or if they do crop up, cut them off so they don't just go on for days and days and days.
Yeah, and that's all good advice, Tom. But remember, other mayors, I have to say this, when they started out, have had equally bad missteps. Tony Williams moving the University of the District of Columbia to St. E's. I mean, talk about a misstep. Within the first months, we were swarmed at the building, if you remember. And so we all have short memories and forget that other people in these jobs, it's not hard to make missteps. The thing you have to do when you do it, though, is recognize it immediately, put it behind you, and move forward.
Don't hide from the media.
And I think with Chairman now Mayor Gray, again, I've known him a long time, and he's a very capable guy. Kwame Brown, he's just got to get this thing paid for and off of his ledger.